Hello, welcome back to my channel and my big hair. Happy 2020 and all that good stuff. So I want to get right into it. I didn't do a year in review for 2019, but I did want to address some things that I learned in 2019 and some highlights of the year and what I'm looking forward to this year. So without further ado, if you're coming back and watching a video, thank you so much. I appreciate it. And if you're new here, you're gonna love it here. We're like a big ass family and we keep it real, and I'm kind of funny sometimes, a little bit, and yeah, it's just a good vibe here. So if you don't feel that yet, but I'm cute enough, go ahead and subscribe down below and keep watching the video and add a like if you are impressed at all. And yeah, we're gonna get started. First things first, what I'm really proud of for 2019, one of my goals was to go hiking at least once a month. And I should have checked before I did this video, but I'm pretty sure I got 10 out of 12 months completed. I'll confirm during editing, but I'm pretty sure I got 10 out of 12 months completed. And then I think I missed one in August, so I made it up by going hiking twice in September. And let me just tell you, it was the best thing I could have did for my body. It was the best thing I could have done for myself spiritually and mentally. Like, being able to just go do something that puts me in tune with nature, forces me to just be quiet. And well, I'm already a quiet person anyway, but just forces me to kind of drown out the city life and the hustle and bustle and always feeling like I have to do something or take care of something. Going hiking, it was like another form of meditation for me, and I am definitely going to keep that goal going this year as best as I can. Probably not going to be as easy as last year because I just have like some health stuff coming up, but I am so proud of myself for sticking to that. And I will say my favorite hike of 2019 was Chimney Rock, and I think that's in North Carolina, and I stayed overnight in a cabin. I have a video somewhere recently that I posted about it, but I stayed in a cabin overnight and it was freaking gorgeous, and the hike was just beautiful, and the weather and the people there were so nice. And yeah, definitely my favorite hike of 2019. I want to go back to complete the entire trail because mom ain't raised no quitter. But for sure, that was my favorite hike of the year, and something that I'm really proud of for myself for completing that and continuing to put myself out there to do it, even during the times where I felt like it was hard or I didn't want to get up and go. I'm proud of sticking to making myself a priority. I've always struggled with finding a middle ground on selflessness and selfishness, and I feel like selfishness is necessary and good in certain places. And one thing that I was really selfish with last year was my time and the amount of things that I did for everyone else, and putting myself and my health on the back burner. I have just always been this super sacrificial person and people pleaser, and last year I decided that I was going to stop going to Atlanta for trips and just sending people money every time they asked for it. Like, I really just had to put my foot down and say no, and it was hard. but I feel like it helped me just grow as a person, because not only was I able to do a lot of things for myself and for Lottie in my household, but it was just nice to be able to get out and explore and not feel like I was just being like sucked up, I guess, or used. Because sometimes I feel like people, they see that you don't complain much, or you don't ask for help, and they just think you got it like that, and I don't. So it was awesome being able to just be into just us, and pay off bills. Yeah, that's great. That was great. I paid off some bills, or some debt rather. So that part was great, and that's something else that I'm really proud of from 2019. Something that I learned from 2019, like seriously, boundaries. Yeah, boundaries. I know everybody, claims that they're like an empath, without really knowing the underlying meaning of it. But I have a habit of taking on people who are like damaged, and this is just males, females, just people in general who are damaged and are traumatized and are not nearly close to a state of recovery. And not that I haven't been through my own load of stuff. I am proactive about my healing, because I don't want my past to rub off on other people, and I don't want people to feel like they are the recipients of pain that they did not cause. And because I attract these people, a lot of the time I can feel other people's emotions even when they're not around me. I can know that something's wrong, and I just have kind of like a niche to like call or check on people or text people when they're not at their best, which is weird. And sometimes, not sometimes, a good bit of the time, it kind of like drags me down, because I'm weighted down by other people's things. And I just always want people to always, be okay. And I know like that makes no sense, and that's not even like a thing that can happen, but like I just like for people to know that they're not alone and that they can overcome things. But I had to learn that you can't want something more for somebody than they want for themselves. And I just realized I'm always doing laundry when I'm vlogging. Funny. Random. But yeah, you can't want something more for somebody than they want for themselves. And that was a hard lesson for me to learn, because when I get invested in people and trust them and love real hard on them, it's hard for me to really let go, because I am not a very trusting person, and I am very cautious and strategic with who I really allow into my space. And because of that, it makes letting go all the much harder. But I had to let go of some situations and some people and some things last year, and I cried like a baby. But I know that it's going to set me up better in the future, because I'm pretty sure I've mentioned this on another videos that, and I say this to people like in real life, but nobody's going to take better care of you than yourself. And I apply that to myself every day, because it's true. And nobody was making sure that I was going to therapy. Well, I did have a couple people making sure that I went to therapy. But you know, people aren't gonna be like, okay, make your therapy appointments. Okay, how are you feeling? What's your check-in? Like, you have to take responsibility of your health and your trauma. And if you are really and truly an empath, you have to be wary of the people that you attract, because sometimes it can be really good for you, but other times it can actually be pretty harmful. And if you are already dealing with mental health diseases like I am, with anxiety and depression, it can be especially harmful to just kind of dig your own hole and not know that you're digging it. Also, in 2019, a really big thing that I learned was I took this year to go back on my dating history and the type of men that I allow into my life, and a lot of, if not the majority of my relationships have been toxic. Another overused word of 2019, but just a lot of negativity, and I feel like I always knew that I had daddy issues, but I didn't really understand over the years how much that played a part in my life. And it showed its ass in the men that I chose, because I believe in love, and I believe in soulmates, and I believe in all that mushy, gushy stuff. However, the people that I've chosen to be with have never been able to really provide that for me, but I was okay, because, you know, somebody was there, and I was just like, even if it's not the best love, it's okay, because at least I'm not alone. I was one of those people, and it took me to look back on my past to realize that even though they're at fault for not treating me right, I am at fault for picking them, because a lot of these people share characteristics with my biological father, who has never really been a part of my life, who has disowned me, who has trashed me, talked about me, said I was gonna be no good. And I just always figured, like, if I love you enough, then and hard enough, and I do everything that you ask me to do, and I just, you know, be perfect, then maybe you'll love me too, and that'll make up for the man who didn't love me growing up. So it was just like, damn, like, I really had to take ownership of the relationships that I was in. Like, it's my fault that I picked them. And I'm not saying that these guys are bad people, but it's very easy to take advantage of a nice person. It's very easy to run over a person who is afraid to speak and who doesn't like confrontation. And 2019 was just the year of, like, self-realization, to where I was like, I have to fix this about myself, because I can preach all day not to settle and to wait until you are getting what you deserve, but I have to be proactive in this part of healing, so that I can pick the right person. Because right now I don't know how to pick the right person. I know how to keep somebody, but you can't keep a person who's not meant to be in your life, which is what I've been trying to do all these years. So that was a very big lesson in 2019 for me. But on to 2020. Last year I did a board. This year I decided not to do a board. For me, I do not express all of my inner turmoil and all of my inner emotions with my friends and family, because I don't like for people to worry. Like, I'm like, here are my ears and they work and I'm gonna listen, and if you want me to dry your tears, boo boo, I got you, period. But when people are like, hey, you know, come talk to me, I got you, and I'm like, okay, and then I don't talk, and then I overthink and I overanalyze, and it is not good for my anxiety, which I realize. I'm working on it, I promise. But to help with that this year, I told myself that anything that I did not speak out loud, I was going to make sure that I wrote it down in a notebook. And I was going to write at a minimum of 3 times a week, at least, and write about my day and just whatever was on my mind. And I write right before I go to bed. So I went to Books A Million in Peachtree City, and I got this notebook, which was like $14 or something like that. I just really like that it was purple. Purple's my favorite color. But yeah, I've been doing this diligently, and I'm actually really proud of myself. Like, I've really been in tune with writing every single day. I think I've only missed 2 days, but this has been like my saving grace, just simply because I know how I am when it comes to opening up. So this was really important to me, and I'm going to do my best to stick with this entire year, because it'll also help me track my growth, my emotions, and how I'm handling the things in my life. Also, I got something similar like this for a friend to kind of delve into their past and just write their own story. And I also found this at Books A Million. Well, this is a different book than the one I got for a friend, but it's 642 Things to Write About Me, and it's by the San Francisco Writers Grotto. It has so many stories and ideas and things for you to write about. Some are fun, some make you really think, and some are pretty emotional. So I've been doing this every night when I also write in my other notebook, and I feel like that's been helping me kind of just unload all of my emotions, because I'm not a good speaker and I'm not good at expressing my emotions properly all of the time. So writing has kind of, and forcing myself to write has been very helpful the last couple of weeks. Also, I have some more books that I want to talk about. I saw this online somewhere. I can't remember who posted about it, but it's called You Are a Message, Meditations for the Creative Entrepreneur. Do not know how to pronounce that, so I'm gonna just hold it right here and hope that it focuses, because I cannot see. But I thought this was really important for me, being that I do call myself a content creator, and it's also something that I love to do. And for a little while I forgot that it was less about the numbers and more about producing things that were important to me and things that I am passionate about. So this book has helped me really kind of get back onto that and focus on my channel and what I talk about and do as a whole, because if I can just help a person here and there, then that makes me happy. I don't read this every day, maybe just like a couple times a week, but it's not like a big read at all. One that I read a couple days ago says, you are a message. Everything you are, everything you have, everything you do is a message. You might not know it, but you're constantly projecting a message around you. What's your message? What are you saying to the world around you? What are you saying to your market? What are you saying to future generations? So it's little reminders like this that help me keep going and pursuing this whole YouTube journey, just this whole life journey that I'm on, because I'm essentially on camera and you guys are seeing everything, or seeing a lot of the stuff that I'm going through as it's happening. So this is a great read if you're a creative. Mom, thanks for this book. I am such an affirmations and speak life type of person, even when it's hard to see the good and the positive. So my mom got me this morning an evening's prayers book for my birthday, and I read it every day and I love it. And it's just, they're not long reads. It's just when I wake up and before I go to bed, I make sure that I read it, and it just puts me in like a better mindset, because sometimes when we don't see things getting better, we lose faith, or we just and it makes us not want to keep going. So even when I'm like deep in emotional distress, I try to pick this up and read it, and just keep holding on, just keep going, like my grandma would say. Also, mom, she's the bomb, y'all. If she's adopted you, you're lucky I let you stay. Anyway, so 365 days of happy, which I like. I've only written in this a couple of times, but I like this. It's very similar to the happy journal. The happy journal is a little bit more detailed. Very similar to this, where it keeps track of your emotions, and it asks you to write something that you're grateful for and something good that happened to you during the day. So a quote that I remember from being in the Army is "Hunt the good stuff." And I thought it was cheesy and it was annoying, and I was like, ugh, I've been up since 5 doing PT and work, and I don't want to hunt the good stuff right now. I want to go to sleep. However, this makes me hunt the good stuff. Like, even if I've had a crappy day, I'm like, okay, what's something good? Lottie cuddled with me for 30 minutes. And just like that, it just puts things into perspective, because I feel like we lose perspective and we forget how blessed we are. We forget that where we are now is very possibly in a better situation than we were a year ago, 3 years ago, or 5 years ago. So I like that this is a constant reminder for me to be thankful, because there are people who wish that they are where I was right now. I tend not to talk about like the things I'm trying to accomplish or my 2020 goals. Essentially now they are just things that I meditate on, and I'm doing my best to just speak positive things into the atmosphere and expect good things coming towards me. I know this is a little longer than I thought, but if you are now at the end, I want to say thank you so much, and I hope you come back. And if you're not subscribed already, go ahead and click that red button down below and become a Keystone. And yeah, man, I love you so much. Drop some goals down in the comment section if you want, and you know, we can start a whole conversation below, because I'm very attentive and I'm rambling at this point because it's almost 1 o'clock in the morning and I'm probably tired. So yeah, I will see you guys in the next video. Love you. Bye.